You could see the moment Ben Shephard's usual broadcast composure completely vanished, replaced by an expression of pure, unscripted bewilderment. There is a specific kind of magic that happens on morning television when polished scripts are suddenly tossed aside, but what unfolded across British living rooms during that broadcast felt entirely different. 1 second, Ben was navigating the fast-paced rhythm of live television, and the very next, a single sentence froze the entire studio in time. When news broke regarding Annie's surprise baby announcement, it wasn't just a headline, it was an overwhelming human moment captured live on air, leaving one of Britain's most seasoned presenters utterly speechless. What made those few seconds so captivating was the sheer authenticity of Ben's reaction. For years, viewers have grown accustomed to his unflappable charm, quick wit, and ability to handle any technical glitch or chaotic interview without breaking a sweat. Yet, in that precise fraction of a second, the veteran anchor vanished, and a deeply stunned husband took his place. You could see it in the way his posture softened, the sudden pause in his voice, and the wide-eyed look of disbelief as he processed what he was hearing. It felt as though the entire control room held its breath, realizing what was happening was far beyond standard morning entertainment. When news of a surprise baby announcement touches a couple together for over 2 decades, the emotional resonance hits on a whole different level. Ben and Annie Shephard have long been considered one of British television's most grounded, enduring couples. Having raised their 2 sons into young men and built a life quiet enough to escape the harsher sides of celebrity culture, a sudden shift like this feels almost cinematic. For anyone watching at home, seeing a man who has shared every milestone with his childhood sweetheart suddenly faced with a life-changing update was nothing short of extraordinary. The studio atmosphere transformed almost instantly. You could feel a subtle shift among the co-hosts and crew as the gravity of the announcement settled over the set. Instead of rushing to a commercial break or pushing forward with the rundown, the camera lingered just long enough to catch those unscripted glances. The nervous, joyous giggles off-camera, the soft, reassuring smiles from fellow presenters, and that fleeting moment of silence where the quiet felt far louder than any scripted commentary created a moment where professional broadcasting and raw human experience blurred completely. Across social media, the reaction was immediate and electric. Viewers online began picking apart every frame of the broadcast, replaying the exact second Ben uttered those raw, unfiltered words, "I never saw this coming." Many pointed out how rare it is to see someone who talks for a living suddenly left struggling for words. Comment sections flooded with a mixture of shock, emotional warmth, and deep admiration for the sheer vulnerability on display. People weren't just watching a celebrity story unfold, they were reacting to the genuine joy of a man caught entirely off guard by the woman he loves most. From a media perspective, moments like this highlight why morning television remains such a deeply rooted part of British culture. We don't just watch presenters to receive news, we form quiet, daily attachments to them. When someone like Ben Shephard, a warm, comforting presence in millions of homes for decades, experiences an unscripted, highly emotional shock, the audience feels it right alongside him. It challenges the sterile, heavily rehearsed nature of modern media, reminding us that behind studio lights are real people navigating the exact same unpredictable twists of life as the rest of us. Analyzing the subtlety of Ben's reaction reveals so much about his relationship with Annie. Rather than putting on an exaggerated performance for the cameras, his initial response was quiet, introspective, and intensely personal. It hinted at a deep, unspoken bond. A dynamic where a single surprise can completely throw off a man who prides himself on always being prepared. Viewers noticed how his eyes drifted away from the teleprompter, lost in a mix of processing reality and mentally stepping away from the studio to be with his family in that thought. Behind the immediate excitement lies a deeper reflection on life, timing, and family dynamics. For a couple that has already weathered decades together, navigating a fresh, unexpected chapter presents a beautiful, if overwhelming, transition. It forces a complete reassessment of the future, bringing a surge of new energy into a household settling into a different rhythm. For the public watching at home, it served as a gentle reminder that life rarely follows a strict script, no matter how carefully you plan your days. In the end, what made this Good Morning Britain moment echo so loudly across the country was not just the surprise itself, but the warmth and vulnerability that surrounded it. It reminded us that the best television moments are never the ones rehearsed in pre-production meetings, but the raw, unscripted blips of human emotion that catch everyone by surprise. When the camera finally cut away, you could tell the studio, and the audience at home, was still absorbing the gentle shock of what had just transpired. Perhaps what stayed with viewers wasn't just the shock of the announcement, but the unmistakable look of love and utter disbelief written across Ben's face. It leaves you wondering how many life-changing surprises are waiting for us when we least expect them. Did you catch that live moment when it happened? And did Ben's reaction feel just as genuine to you as it did to millions watching at home? Let me know what went through your mind in the comments below.